So that put the releases of Pokemon X and Y just a few weeks away from Grand Theft Auto 5. That's how I shut down the government.
You, sir, are a visionary.
You gotta admit, Steve, who could have a life among all this?
I am juggling both work and college in addition to taking all these cases. Having no life would be fantastic right now.
Do you mean that literally?
What do you mean by that?
Because Tyler has the least life of us all. Ow!
Not cool, man.
Tyler, wake up, man.
He died as he lived, hopelessly dreaming of sheep in a capitalist system.
Don't be stupid, you guys. He's completely out cold. I don't know what could have done this to him. Guys, help me move him. This is the only lead we have, guys. Something in this movie must have done that to him. We've got to review it.
I still think food poisoning's logical.
Casper, A Spirited Beginning. I haven't seen this movie in years, and the one thing I truly remember from it is one clip. Suffice to say, it's one that makes me mad. For those unfamiliar with the character of Casper the Friendly Ghost, that's really all there is to get. He's a ghost, he's friendly, most other ghosts aren't.
Apparently, this movie talking about Casper's spirited beginning drove our friend Tyler into madness, possibly death.
For the last time, he's not dead.
And did we mention, this is a spin-off of the 1995 film. Brace yourselves. It starts off okay, with credits that are both good and terrible. Visual style? Good. Pop song? Terrible. Listing cameo actors instead of letting them be a special surprise. Pretty terrible. But there are a lot of high-profile voice actors, which is pretty good.
Then we cut to a terribly CG train that Casper's riding, having just recently become a ghost.
Now, scram, deadbeat. I'm in a grave mood.
Now let me rest in peace.
What? I appreciate puns that others don't.
We've noticed! Casper is then thrown off the train. You heard it right, folks. Suddenly, physics apply to a ghost. The train disappears into a mountain, being a ghost train and all, and Casper ends up in the town of Deedstown. Just like that. The town doesn't take comfort in his presence, and they panic. So then physics stops mattering again. And that is when we drink.
But to the scene's credit, it almost gets Ben Stein to emote. To its discredit, though, Casper looks too innocent. How could he scare anyone?
Isn't that the point of his character, though?
Yeah, but it doesn't really make sense. If someone saw a ghost that looked and behaved so friendly, I don't think it would do anything except mildly startle them.
After only about 5 minutes of Casper, we're given our other main character, Chris. His main quirk is he's considered a bit odd for his enthusiasm for paranormal stuff.
T-minus 4 minutes and counting.
His father, on the other hand, is an unencouraging, repressive workaholic.
It's the first phase of my plans for the renovation of the town, and the mayor loves it.
I don't like that old mansion. It's really spooky.
No more supernatural stuff. I'll see you later.
Oh, don't forget. Tonight's my open house. Parents are Amanda. Tori.
Why was this parental stereotype so common in the 90s?
Chris's dad is an architect who is off to work to deal with a bunch of protesters, led by Becky from Full House. They don't want an old historical landmark, Applegate Mansion, to be torn down for the mini-mall that Chris's dad designed.
This place is falling apart. The best thing we can do is replace it with something useful.
Like what? Another burger stand?
Not another burger stand. Stop the building, make a man.
Wouldn't it be cheaper and easier to just spruce up the house and use its historical value to bring in tourists?
Then chaos ensues in the form of the ghostly trio, Stinky, Stretch, and Fatso.
Oh, dolls. Don't you get it?
Hey, Fletchy, you're mine, because possession is 9/10 the law.
I know we're not in Technicolor, so how about Odorama?
Wow, where do I even begin? It takes 3 of them to form the word bulldozer. Then their colors change, for no reason, and the stupid one-liners. And then their essence is tangible again.
You better check under there. Under where? Exactly! A mega onesie!
What a crack-up!
What? No one should ever fall for that, despite how classic it is.
It's that kind of classic that is in the copper package that's included with all 90s movies. Like Bullies.
Look, creepy Chris Carson. He keeps spiders as pets.
Yeah, probably eats them too.
The bright side is, they're pathetic. Oh, a frightened mob! Let's run without knowing what they're running from.
Meanwhile, the construction crew has quit because of the ghost attack.
There are no such things as ghosts!
Did he not hear the dozens of screaming witnesses outside?
He didn't even poke his head out until the commotion was over. That trailer must be soundproof or something. We're brought back to the ghost train station.
I'm Snivel, and welcome to our ghost train station. In other words, the station where we train you to be ghosts. Get it?
And clearly the first lesson is how to tell bad jokes.
Huh? Oh, no. Who's missing? Casper?
The head ghost Kibosh, voiced by James Earl Jones, who must have really needed the paycheck, tasks his lackey to bring back Casper because rogue ghosts, such as the trio we met earlier, are an embarrassment.
How would it look if I, the mighty Kibosh, let some wide-eyed rookie run loose without any schooling?
Also, his running joke is getting Casper's name wrong.
Little snot-noses named Carter about this caster.
As Chris runs to school... Wait, this just in. Casper's back in the movie after about 20 minutes of absence. He still acts friendly, yet he spooks an old lady into the best shape of her life.
I wish someone would just talk to me.
Chris's dad deals with the displeased mayor. Apparently Rodney Dangerfield was still on the call sheet from his cameo in the last Casper movie.
Ghost rumors have been coming into my office for the past month.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, but most of them are prank calls. They're kids, they're drunks, they're nutcases.
My wife?
And charming, intelligent women.
Oh, my wife is very intelligent. It takes her an hour and a half to watch 60 Minutes.
Ordinarily, this joke would be completely ridiculous, but it's Rodney Dangerfield, so it's excusable.
A few periodically, maybe, but I think a month warrants at least a little bit of investigation. And let me guess, despite dozens of witnesses claiming otherwise, they deny anything related to ghosts?
No ghosts.
Way to subtly cover your tracks, dumbass.
In a bit of a twist, Becky from Full House is playing Chris's teacher, Sheila Fistagraph.
But you gotta stand up for your rights. You can't let people get away with that kind of nonsense. It's like Applegate Mansion. If we don't stand up for it, people are gonna tear it down and build some new choking puke.
First off, what the heck is a choking puke? Second, there shall be no patriotic indignancy from him today.
Well, got our first suspect.
What?
You're Tyler the Anarchist. He's Tyler the American. You two were crafted to be enemies. It's a simple motive, but it's a powerful one.
What about Nick?
We'll see.
Next, our two main characters collide.
Sorry, no problem. Whoa, he didn't scream. Oh, wow, a ghost. Hi, let me get your picture. You mean you're not scared of me? Are you kidding? I love ghosts.
Then they try to bring out Casper's inner ghost.
Let your ghostly instincts guide you, young spookwalker.
Was that a Star Wars reference?
We have bigger questions. How is Casper holding up that sheet? Suddenly, physics.
He's the new ghost in town. Hello.
He's one of us. Well, shrieking and salutations, Casper. I'm Stretch, and this here's my brother Stinky.
I stink, therefore I am. And this entire fog bank over here is a weather front named Fatso.
I'm not really fat, just big boned.
You don't have any bones. You're a ghost. And what about the lackey ghost? Do you guys even see him? He keeps popping in and out. I mean, come on, he's right f***ing there.
Dude, are you okay?
I am completely calm.
I can see that. Since Casper is an unspoiled mind, the trio decides to teach him their unorthodox ways. Alas, Chris isn't allowed because...
Union rules.
So many missed joke opportunities. It's such a shame, really. We cut to Chris's father's office, where he calls up the only demolition company left who's willing to take the job, Armageddon Demolition.
Sir, I've got a building I need torn down.
I volunteer.
You haven't seen it yet.
Doesn't matter. Natural or man-made, I make it gone. Hold on, please.
What was that?
Just a little extermination job. Occupant has a gopher problem. Correction, had.
I see.
Eat your Wheaties and be sharp, soldier.
Are we insured?
That's brilliant.
It's ridiculous. But it's a far cry better than the rest of the movie.
Meanwhile, Snivel reports his findings to Kibosh. Last time I checked, didn't Kibosh tell Snivel to...
Bring his sorry hooky playing tush back here immediately!
Right now, he's just spying.
Meanwhile, Chris's dad is still neglectful, failing to show up to his son's open house.
Chris is fine, okay? I've got that handled, and he knows that I'm up to my teeth in work.
What a jerk.
And it is not as easy to be a dad and a mom.
Then again, it was mentioned earlier that Mr. Carson's job hinges on this project.
It's true for an architect. If there's no space for his buildings, then there's no space for his job.
But if jobs are dwindling, why not move? Chris doesn't seem to have friends, so I don't know if he'd protest. But who knows if that'd change anything. Even more sad, the teacher is being more parental.
My dad thinks I have an overactive imagination.
Oh, a good imagination is a powerful tool. It allows us to do great things, like saving a landmark against all odds.
Wait, parental. Do you guys remember that scene from earlier?
Wow. TV cameras aren't usually so flattering.
How contrived can you make a romance?
Back with Casper, his training is going poorly.
Basically, you don't want to scare humans.
What's wrong with being nice to them?
This sounds like the pitch that created Casper as a character back in the olden days.
There's no place in this world for a friendly ghost.
And this is the logic that should have killed the idea right then and there.
Next morning, Chris's dad tries to apologize in the only weird way that dads can.
Do you know what today is? It's Wild and Crazy Guy Day!
Yeah, right.
Yes, it is. Says it right here. You and I are supposed to have a guys-only sit-down dinner.
It's not that simple, Mr. Carson. You have to show that you'll be able to come through with your promises before he'll believe.
Honest?
Uh-huh. And later after that, you and I are going to go to the batting cage, and this time, I'm going to beat you.
Yes!
Deal?
Deal.
Forget it. Bringing Casper back into the movie that barely features its title character, Chris tries to teach him about haunting at his school.
Lesson 1. Going through walls. Hey, no problem. I've got that wire. Watch. Wait! I think you're gonna need this right about now.
Hey guys, it's toilet humor.
I need you right now.
Good God!
I thought this was a kid's movie.
Honestly, guys, the writer can't even find a way to fit Snivel into the movie except by just inserting him whenever convenient. How would you keep your sanity if you were writing this movie?
You know, you could make Casper do something ghostly for a change.
First the butthead, you're cleared for takeoff.
The bookcases are falling like they're weightless, but other than that, not bad.
I was
also kind of like this running gag where the principal gets blinded by something and then just blames the person nearest to him. With movies like this, you gotta appreciate the simple things.
Speaking of which, we get more of the Demolition guy.
Tomorrow, that place will be bite-sized.
Ethan, can you put this out, please?
Huh? Ah, don't worry about that. Doesn't go boom without this. See that? Harmless as a steak knife.
Except one thing.
What's that?
My office is on fire! Hey! 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 Damage control! Drop and roll!
I'm pretty sure a spark doesn't go full flame in 4.5 seconds.
So much for that guy. Next, we cut to Casper trying out his powers on a robber. The results are actually pretty good, fulfilling both the friendly and scary needs of Casper.
Hey, wait! Look, I know you're a ghost, but you just saved my life. Thank you.
Really?
Sure. How about some jerky?
Then we cut to the school where Chris awaits his dad to arrive at the conference. Then we cut to Chris's dad, who finds out that Sheila is the leader of the Applegate Mansion activists.
I should have known. Parent-teacher conference. Ha! My Aunt Sally.
And then...
Okay, stop! First, we've had 4 cuts in about 4 minutes of movie. That's worse than Attack of the Clones. Second, what's up with Mr. Carson? Does he really think a parent-teacher conference is so far-fetched?
Yeah, because whose freaking idea was it to talk to the parents about their child's education?
But even beyond that, he doesn't even have the common courtesy to make the phone call to Sheila himself.
But, Miss Lyons, these conferences are essential to the students. What? This is school business.
All she would have had to do is put Chris on the phone. Problem solved! God, I hate this movie.
How much is left?
38 minutes.
God damn it. So Chris is sad again, and Casper cheers him up.
Hey, parents don't like going to school any more than kids do. But I'm sure he'll remember your baseball thing. Hey, yeah, the batting cages. And we're supposed to have dinner too. Well, all right.
Mood swings again. Then his teacher stops by with his binder, and Chris invites her in.
Do you want a soda or anything?
Oh, sure, all right.
Playa.
Oh, shut up.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's true.
He was joking!
Aw, yeah. But then it gets ruined.
Must have missed.
Suddenly, then there's no logic or physics.
Here's me as a Klingon.
Oh, I love Star Trek. Did you see The Wrath of Khan?
Oh, that was a classic.
Yeah.
Now they're just reminding us of better movies we could be watching. How much longer?
35 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we all need a moment here to gather our thoughts about what we've seen so far. Also, I said that a Casper coat rack would be cool. That does not make me completely materialistic.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you are, Nick. It just makes you a suspect in Tyler's accident, that's all.
That's pretty bad, Steve. How the hell does that make me a suspect?
You remember when Tyler showed you his hats?
Hey Nick, I really like your hat.
Well, thank you. I like it too.
I have one just like that. I also have this one. And I also have this one. I also have this one. And I also have this one. Well, take care, Nick.
Can we just start the movie again?
Yeah, I'm ready for anything. Chris and Casper make dinner for the evening. During the dinner, Chris is gonna introduce his dad to Casper.
And then I'll top it off by introducing him to my best friend. Who's that? You doofus. You'll have a hard time forgetting that.
None of that could possibly be edible. And won't his dad notice any of the mess?
Trust me, he will.
You sound kind of pissed off right now. What's up?
Remember at the beginning when I said my memory of this movie only contains one scene?
Yeah?
That scene is coming up.
Oh.
Oof. Chris's dad gets home and admires the dinner, and they start getting in touch with their feelings and stuff.
You're starting to sound like your teacher, and your teacher is going to get me fired.
I wish he listens to me.
What's that supposed to mean?
You never pay attention to me. I mean, you don't come to my baseball games, or take me to the movies, or listen to what I say.
Chris.
Then they go upstairs to meet Casper and disaster. Because Casper's friendliness ruins Ghostly's reputation, the trio naps him just in time. And now Chris's dad shows what a complete scumbag he is.
That's it. You have an overactive imagination. It is time to grow up. This goes, this, and this.
Those are mine!
This is trash.
No!
You clean this up! I go see the mayor!
You can't! What about our dinner and the batting cage?
I don't want to hear it, Chris.
It's not fair! You like your job more than me!
My anger would drag way too long otherwise, so here is my main point about this scene. When one tells a person to grow up, one might say, "What are you, 10?" Thus implying that 10 is one of the ages you should take advantage of the fact that you're a kid. And you are telling him to grow up, trashing his stuff, and rejecting who he is. Well, you know what? Congratulations, Mr. Carson. You are the neglectful parent of the year. No, you know what? Of the entire f***ing 90s. Guys, take over. I need it.
Alright. After that little spat, Chris decides to run away. Unfortunately, he comes across the bullies.
You got me a month of detention, geek. Wish I could have done more for you.
The girl tries to stand up for him, but loses the bully's favor. They kidnap Chris, locking him in the Applegate mansion. Oh, hey, kid? Call the cops. That mansion's getting demolished tomorrow. This isn't your average bullying. They even say,
You are gonna die.
Chris's dad wakes up the next morning to find Chris has run away. Then he gets his rude awakening in the form of Casper.
Go! No, get away! Get away!
Yeah.
Be lonely. I'm always there.
No, you're always working.
Yeah, you said that.
Find him. You need each other.
You're right, Casper. We do need each other. We love each other.
Nah, I'm not buying that. Let's just move on.
I bet he's at the Applegate place. Chris loves it there.
The Applegate place? That's gonna blow in 15 minutes!
What? I got him on Chris.
With the demo man's phone broken, Chris's dad manages to get a ride to Applegate from, funny enough, Sheila. Quick, resolve your differences!
Can't you see I am just trying to save this town?
Good! Now stop the demo man from detonating the bomb.
is it over?
We did it!
Negatory, you sniveling liberal pansies. My bomb's got a default mechanism on it. You can wave bye-bye to that rat trap in 1 minute.
Okay, that's it. I am tired of this movie's excuses for continuing itself. Let's just end this thing already. Mr. Carson goes in after Chris, which I think qualifies decently enough for redemption. I mean, there's a bomb in there. Casper eats the bomb and it explodes within his spiritual essence, protecting both the building and the people. Kibosh throws in a BS moral about family.
Then I was wrong to split you three up. A family as scary as you has my permission to haunt where you want.
And the bullies get their comeuppance. The f***ing end. Finally! This movie is beyond dumb. It moves way too fast for us to care about anything we see. The characters are annoying and unpleasant stereotypes as perpetrated by the 90s, and Casper is barely featured even though he's the titular character.
The main three problems this movie comes down to is logic, mood swings, and physics. The bad execution of all three are enough to describe why this movie is terrible. You can top that off with bad acting and bad effects if you really want to.
The appeal of Casper as a character is a bizarre conundrum as well. Why is it that the friendly ghost became even a minor cultural icon worthy of being featured so often on Halloween merchandise? Even the Twilight series was more... You know what? No. The only scary part about those movies were that it was actually successful. That's more creepiness than this movie even has to offer.
Not so fast, Nick. The plot holes are pretty scary too.
Is Chris's mom dead, or are they divorced?
Based on the fact that the wedding photo was kept in plain view out in the open, I'd say she's dead. But why it's in Chris's room, I couldn't guess.
Why does Kibosh beat around the bush?
Even though Kibosh ordered Snivell to go get Casper and bring him back to the training academy, he just has Snivell constantly reporting back to him without actually doing anything.
Sounds a lot like government to me.
Well, you would know, wouldn't you? You shut them down. Why does the mayor deem that all these ghost incidents aren't worth investigating? Ghosts are an irrational enough idea that the community will probably just forget about the panic.
So, you gonna tell us who committed the crime, oh great Detective Steve?
Not so fast, Nick. We haven't named all the suspects yet.
But there's only a few of us. Who else could it have been?
Me!
What?
And here's the potential motive. Tyler and I have clashed a lot in the past. But most recently, I committed what I will admit is a great offense. I agreed to be the co-writer and editor for his fanfiction, but I took several months to edit just one chapter, which, in all honesty, was pretty short.
Hey, Steven, are you working on the fan? Is that Avatar?
Uh-huh.
Oh, cool.
Hurry up, Sokka! Just a guy with a boomerang. I didn't ask for all this flying and magic.
Oh, Sokka. It's like he knows my opinions and just voices them on screen for me. Tyler's patience with me was wearing thin, and I feared he might come for me. So it would only make sense that I need to get to Tyler before he gets to me.
Is that a confession?
Of course not! Tyler's my best friend! I'm just saying, if the detective has a connection with the victim, you can never quite rule them out.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late.
Tyler? What the hell is going on?
Oh yeah, I did an experiment not that long ago. It was after the last review where Steven told me...
It's not like you can separate a part of yourself.
Well, that got me thinking, which always leads to weird places, and I managed to separate parts of my consciousness.
So you're telling me that that's not you, just Tyler the American?
Yeah, pretty much. We were pretty worn out from the process, so we had to sleep it off. He should be coming to any moment now.
And you were accusing us of killing him.
Mr. Detective.
Hey, I was not accusing you of that on the grounds that I never thought he was dead, unlike you two.
Well, here's a thought. Did any of you decide to check his pulse? Seriously? You all thought he was dead and none of you thought to check his pulse?
I just said I never thought you were dead.
We just got so caught up in the movie thinking it had something to do with it.
You were half right. That was a great nap. I feel fully energized and like myself. Well, the thing about this movie... You. My nemesis, the anarchist. I did it again. For the first time. I've been waiting too long for this.
Guys, the mystery's solved. Do your big epic battle some other time.
Damn it.
So why did you have that movie on you in the first place?
Oh, I wanted to make it pay for existing.
Let me guess. Union rules?
White slavery?
A propaganda piece about nonconformists like Casper?
No, those are all pretty good, but no, it's because Casper's a communist.